Hi, I'm Corey. Until last month, I was just another corporate accountant at Meridian Technologies, dating Alex Reynolds, whose father happens to be CEO of Reynolds Industries. Things were good between us. 6 months of dinners, weekend getaways, and getting to know each other's quirks and habits. "You're going to love my dad," Alex insisted as we drove to his parents' estate for dinner. "He's tough in business, but once he gets to know you—" I adjusted my blazer nervously. "What if he doesn't approve of me?" "Why wouldn't he?" Alex squeezed my hand. "You're brilliant, beautiful, and you understand the corporate world. That's his love language." "I just want to make a good impression," I said, checking my lipstick in the mirror. "Just be yourself," Alex reassured me. "And maybe mention that market analysis you did last quarter. He loves that kind of thing." "Now I'm even more nervous," I laughed. "Should I have brought my resume instead of wine?" Alex's mother, Patricia, greeted us at the door. "You must be Corey. We've heard so much about you." "All good things, I hope," I smiled, handing her the wine I'd brought. "Oh, how thoughtful. Robert loves a good Cabernet." Speaking of Robert Reynolds, the man himself appeared in the doorway of his study. Tall, silver-haired, with Alex's jawline but none of his warmth. "So this is the girlfriend," he said, not extending his hand. "Accountant at Meridian, right? Small operation compared to what we do at Reynolds." "Dad," Alex warned. "Corey's department handled the Westlake merger last year. That little acquisition? Pocket change." He laughed, guiding us to the dining room. "Let's eat before everything gets cold." Throughout dinner, Robert interrogated me between bites. "Stanford MBA, correct? Not Harvard?" "Stanford has an excellent program," I started. "Harvard's where the real players go. I've hired dozens." Patricia attempted to change the subject. "Corey, Alex mentioned you're quite the pianist." "I've played since childhood," I smiled gratefully. "It's just a hobby now, but—" "A hobby," Robert interrupted. "Interesting how some people have time for hobbies. I built my first company working 18-hour days." Patricia sighed. "Not everyone needs to sacrifice their entire life for business, Robert." "That's why not everyone succeeds," he replied, turning back to me. "What's your 5-year plan, Corey? Still pushing papers at Meridian?" "I'm on track for senior management, actually," I replied. "Our CFO is mentoring me personally." "Jerry Williams?" Robert scoffed. "That dinosaur should have retired years ago." Alex cleared his throat. "Dad, Corey just got promoted." "Listen," Robert set down his fork, addressing me directly. "Alex needs someone who understands ambition. Real ambition. Not middle management at some second-tier tech company." The table fell silent. "I've researched your department's performance," he continued. "Mediocre growth. Conservative strategies. Is that really what you aspire to?" "My team has delivered consistent results during a volatile market," I defended. "Consistent mediocrity isn't an achievement," he laughed, looking at his son. "Alex? Seriously? This is who you're bringing home?" I felt my cheeks burn as he continued. "Women in finance are typically either exceptional or diversity hires. Which category do you fall into?" "Robert!" Patricia gasped. "What? I'm giving career advice. Tell me, Corey, do you always settle for adequate, or is that just your professional approach?" Alex jumped in. "Dad, that's enough." "It's fine," I said quietly, setting down my napkin. "Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Reynolds." As we left, my phone buzzed with a work email. Subject line, "Urgent, Reynolds Industries contract review tomorrow. All hands." I stared at my phone, then at Alex. The universe had just handed me something interesting. "What do you mean you can't attend the Reynolds presentation?" My colleague Tasha leaned against my cubicle the next morning. "The whole finance team has to be there." "I can't objectively evaluate a contract with Reynolds Industries," I explained, showing her the meeting invitation. "Why not?" Tasha asked, lowering her voice. "Wait, isn't that your boyfriend's last name?" I nodded. "His father is the CEO, and after last night's dinner disaster—" "Oh no, what happened?" "Let's just say he made it clear that I'm not good enough for his son or my position." "Seriously? What kind of person does that?" Tasha frowned. The kind who believes his bank account makes him superior to everyone else, I sighed. He asked if I was a diversity hire. He did not. Tasha's eyes widened. What did Alex do? Too little, too late, I replied, reorganizing files on my desk. Marcus from legal stopped by. Corey, I need your eyes on the Reynolds proposal. Something doesn't add up in their financial projections. What kind of doesn't add up? I asked. The promised ROI seems inflated by about 30% compared to industry standards. I've flagged it, but since you're our financial modeling expert, send it over, I said. I'll take a look. After Marcus left, Tasha raised an eyebrow. Interesting timing. This isn't about revenge, I insisted. If there are legitimate issues, of course. Tasha nodded unconvincingly. Totally professional. Look, if there's nothing wrong with the proposal, I'll say so, I insisted. But if Robert Reynolds thinks he can cut corners, then you'll catch him, Tasha finished. Just be prepared for Alex to see this differently. Later in the conference room, I spread out the Reynolds proposal documents while Tasha and Marcus looked on. These projections are based on market growth that doesn't exist, I pointed out. And their cost savings estimates? Pure fantasy? Could it be optimistic forecasting? Marcus asked. It's deliberate misrepresentation, I said. Look at their last 3 contracts with similar companies. They promised the same results but delivered barely 40% of projections. But how do they get away with it? Tasha asked. Doesn't anyone check? They target companies without strong financial oversight, I explained. By the time anyone realizes the projected savings aren't materializing, they've already collected their fees. Tasha whistled. That's a $9.6 million mistake waiting to happen. We need to talk to Dan in procurement, I said. This contract should never be approved. As we left the conference room, I nearly collided with Alex. What are you doing here? I asked, surprised. Dad sent me to smooth things over with your team, he admitted. He knows he can be difficult. Difficult? Alex, he humiliated me. He tests people he thinks might be important to me, Alex defended. It's his weird way of seeing if you'll stick around. By suggesting I'm a diversity hire? He didn't mean... Yes, he did, I interrupted. And now I find out his company is trying to secure a contract with mine based on falsified projections. Alex's expression hardened. Are you investigating my father's company because of last night? I'm doing my job, I replied. And if your father had any respect for mine, he wouldn't be pitching inflated numbers. You're making a mistake, Corey, Alex warned. My father doesn't lose. Neither do I replied. Especially when I'm right. The meeting room was tense as Robert Reynolds himself set up his presentation slides. He faltered briefly when he noticed me sitting beside our CFO. Let's get started, our CEO David Chen announced. Reynolds Industries is proposing a comprehensive tech infrastructure overhaul. Robert launched into his pitch, occasionally glancing my way. Our projections guarantee a 45% improvement in operational efficiency, translating to approximately $14 million in savings over 3 years. And how exactly are these efficiencies achieved? Jerry, our CFO, asked. Proprietary algorithms and workflow optimization, Robert answered smoothly. We've implemented similar systems at Apex Corp and Global Tech with tremendous success. Tremendous by what metric? Jerry pressed. The numbers speak for themselves, Robert replied. Page 16 shows the comparative analysis. When the presentation concluded, David turned to me. Corey, you had some questions about the financial models? Yes, I said, standing. Mr. Reynolds, could you explain how you achieved a 45% efficiency improvement with Apex Corp last year when their annual report shows only a 17% change? The room fell silent. Different circumstances, Robert dismissed. Apex had implementation issues. And Global Tech? I continued. They're currently in litigation with you over similar discrepancies, correct? Robert's face reddened. That information isn't public. It is in court records, I replied, distributing folders. I've compiled performance data from your last 5 major clients. The pattern is consistent. Promise 45 to 50%, deliver 15 to 20%. This is outrageous, Robert snapped. David, who authorized this witch hunt? Our CFO, Jerry, intervened. I did. Standard due diligence for contracts of this size. Is this because of my dinner conversation with you? Robert demanded, staring at me. Using your position to retaliate for personal reasons? That's an inappropriate accusation, Jerry said firmly. I maintained eye contact. This is about protecting my company from a bad deal. Nothing more. Alex warned me you might try something like this, Robert said. He's disappointed in you, by the way. Says you're throwing away your relationship over professional jealousy. The comment stung, but I didn't flinch. Mr. Reynolds, if we could return to the actual numbers. I've built my company from nothing. Robert's voice rose. I don't need to be questioned by a junior accountant with an axe to grind. Yet your proposal doesn't withstand basic scrutiny, I replied calmly. David, Robert turned to our CEO, control your employee or this partnership is dead before it starts. David stood. Robert, if you can't address legitimate financial concerns, perhaps there shouldn't be a partnership. You're making a catastrophic mistake, Robert threatened. I'll ensure Meridian regrets this. And you, he pointed at me. Alex is done with you. I'll make sure of it. That's enough, Jerry said firmly. I think we're concluded here. As Robert stormed out, my colleagues exchanged shocked glances. Tasha leaned over. Are you okay? I nodded, though my hands were shaking beneath the table. He just torpedoed his own deal, Marcus whispered. No, I replied quietly. He did that when he decided lying was an acceptable business practice. The contract is officially dead, David confirmed in our follow-up meeting. Legal found 3 more discrepancies after Reynolds left. Jerry nodded approvingly. Corey, your analysis likely saved us millions. Though I'm curious how Reynolds took it so personally with you. I hesitated before answering. I've been dating his son. After meeting me at a family dinner, Mr. Reynolds made it clear he didn't think I was good enough, professionally or personally. Ah, David nodded. That explains his reaction, but not why you didn't recuse yourself from the review. I considered it, I admitted, but the issues were legitimate. I'd have raised them regardless of who proposed the contract. Well, Reynolds is threatening legal action, Marcus added, claiming discrimination and interference with business relationships. Let him, Jerry scoffed. We have documentation. Speaking of which, excellent work putting that packet together overnight. Corey. What about your relationship with his son? Tasha asked carefully. That's, I paused, complicated. Reynolds has quite the reputation in the industry, David mentioned. This isn't the first time he's tried to bully his way into a contract. But it might be the first time someone's stood up to him, Jerry added. Later that afternoon, Robert Reynolds himself appeared at my desk. We need to talk, he demanded. Privately. In a conference room, he got straight to the point. Name your price. Excuse me? To withdraw your objections, I'll double it. The decision's been made, I replied. The contract's canceled. This little power play has cost me millions, he hissed. Was humiliating me worth losing, Alex? This wasn't about humiliation, I countered. Your numbers didn't add up. Everyone inflates projections, he insisted. It's business, but you made it personal. Like suggesting I was only hired to fill a quota? Robert's expression softened slightly. Look, I was testing you. I do that with everyone Alex gets serious about. That's not testing. It's bullying. I'm trying to apologize, he said. Alex is devastated. He wants to fix things. There's nothing to fix, I replied. You showed me exactly who you are. Someone who belittles others and cuts corners professionally. Alex defended that behavior. I can make things difficult for you in this industry, he said, his tone shifting. One word from me would demonstrate exactly the kind of person I already know you to be, I interrupted. You'll regret making an enemy of me, Robert warned, his facade cracking. Actually, I stood up. I'm proud of stopping a bad deal. That's my job. Your career won't recover from this. I opened the door. Integrity always recovers, Mr. Reynolds. Fraud rarely does. 2 weeks later, Tasha poked her head into my new office, a promotion after the Reynolds incident. Alex is in reception, she whispered. Should I tell him you're busy? I considered this. No, send him in. Alex entered, looking uncomfortable. Nice office. Thanks. What can I do for you? Dad's company is struggling, he admitted. That contract was bigger than I realized. That's unfortunate, I said, meaning it. Several clients are reviewing their contracts now, he continued. Word got around about what happened here. Actions have consequences, I replied. He was wrong about you, Alex said quietly. We both were. I should have stood up for you. Yes, you should have. I've left Reynolds Industries, he said. Started at a smaller firm. Dad and we're not speaking. I'm sorry to hear that, I said, surprised by my own sincerity. Can we start over? He asked. I broke things off with Dad, professionally and mostly personally. I appreciate that, I replied. But no, we can't. Alex looked surprised. Just like that? After 6 months? I need someone who recognizes my worth without needing proof, I explained. Your father showed me who he is. You showed me who you are. I believe you both. Is there anything I can say to change your mind? Alex asked. I shook my head. Some lessons change us permanently. This one changed me. After he left, Tasha and Marcus appeared with coffee. You okay? Marcus asked. Actually, yes, I replied. For the first time in a while? Jerry wants you on the executive training track, Tasha revealed. Says anyone who can stand up to Robert Reynolds has the backbone for leadership. So what's next for the new rising star of Meridian? Tasha grinned. Doing my job, I said simply. Turns out that's enough. To Corey, Marcus raised his coffee cup, who taught us all that sometimes the best revenge is just doing the right thing. I smiled, clinking my cup against theirs, and that some prices, like integrity, are never for sale. Have you ever had to stand your ground professionally when it meant personal consequences? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments.